Hello, welcome to the lecture. So in this lecture, we are going to discuss about the concrete design concepts because now we will be designing concrete structures. So before that, we need to understand what is the design concepts behind it. And till now, we have covered uh, concrete technology part, and in that part, in the previous lecture, I have discussed about how do we find out the strength of concrete? Strength in terms of compression, in terms of tension, in terms of flexural. So we saw how we calculate those strength using the tests. Now today we will discuss more about the properties of concrete and the design concepts that are being used in the designing of concrete structures. So these are the contents that we will discuss in today's lecture. So first, talking about the elastic properties of concrete. Well, elastic property of concrete is very complicated in nature, and determining elastic property, specifically the modulus of elasticity of concrete, is very important because modulus of elasticity is used in the design calculation of concrete structures. So for that, we need to determine modulus of elasticity of concrete, and for that, we need to understand what is the elastic property of concrete, how the stress strain curve of concrete looks like, and what is that mean. So concept behind the modulus of elasticity of concrete is about the following: Hooke's law. So the major concept behind the calculation of modulus of elasticity is the following of Hooke's law. So for concrete, it is very difficult to find out the modulus of elasticity because in the stress strain curve, it is not linear. There is no linearity in the stress strain curve of the concrete. We will see that in the next slide. And because of that, it is very difficult to find out modulus of elasticity of concrete. While if we compare that with the steel has a very clear stress strain curve. It has a linear part, and with that we will be able to find out the modulus of elasticity of the steel. But in case of concrete, it is very difficult because concrete is a very brittle material, while steel is ductile. So we will see some different types of stress strain curve, and then we will try to identify which curve suits concrete. Well, if we define elasticity of the concrete, we will say that concrete is non-linear and it is non-elastic. Concrete is not elastic. Also, it doesn't behave linearly. We will see that through the stress strain curve. But before that, we will see stress strain curve of different material. For example, if we look at the first curve, the curve shows us the stress strain behavior of the material, and this curve is termed as linear and also at the time elastic. It is elastic curve. Why? Because you can see when the stress is high and when strain is increasing, the curve is linear, which means it is in this curve is following the Hooke's law, which states that stress is directly proportional to the strain within the elastic limit. So the curve is straight, which means it has a definite slope. So this slope is actually the modulus of elasticity. So it has a definite slope. So we can easily find out the elasticity of this material if it is linear and elastic. So linear means the curve is linear, and elastic means if we are applying the stress, the strain is increasing, but if we remove the stress, the shape of the material will regain, which means once we remove the load, there will be no deformation, because the removal of the stress, I mean the strain, once we remove the stress, the material will regain the shape without any failure. While if we look at the second diagram is non-linear, but it is elastic, which means uh, stress and strain, they are not proportional to each other in this case. But if we apply the stress, we are applying the stress, strain is increasing, and the behavior looks like in this curved form. But at the same time, if we remove the load, the material may take some time to regain its shape. It will not regain its shape instantly, like in the first case, but it will regain its shape maybe some after some time. But at the same time, there will be no failure. There will be no failure, because as it shows that once we remove the load, it will regain its shape after some time. So if it regains its shape instantly, then it will behave like this, it will be like this. But it is not regaining its shape instantly, that is why the curve is non-linear. But at the same time, it is elastic, because it is regaining its shape. Now if we look at other stress strain curve, like in the third, we can call it linear but non-elastic. There we can see this is the first line, which is showing the increment of the stresses, and at the same time, when we are increasing the stress, the strain is also increasing. So at this point, corresponding to this stress, if we remove the stress, then uh, the removal path, or the removal path will not follow the same line like it was following in the first case. I'm showing again. So there you can see it was following the same path, but in this case, in the third case, you can see it is not following the same path, which means the material undergoes some deformation at this stress. And how much deformation is there? This much. So this much permanent deformation occurs. So when we again apply the load on this, it will not start from here, it will start from here, because this permanent load, permanent deformation occur on already. So once we remove it, it is following this path, which means they are not following the same path, and that is why it is non-elastic. Permanent set occurs. So if we again apply the load, it will start like this, and there may be some other, I mean, it may occur another deformation, then it may not follow the same path. It will look like this. Then coming to the fourth curve is termed as non-linear, and also at the same time it is non-elastic, which means it is not elastic, and at the same time it is not behaving linearly. So in this case, if we apply a load, we will see that this curve will always be in this curve, in this nature only. And at any instant of time, if we remove the load, it will not follow the same path, and it will follow this path, which means this permanent deformation, permanent strain is already occurred. So if we again apply the load, then the curve will start from here, not from here. It will not start from here. So which means this is the non-linear, and at the same time it is non-elastic. So at any point of time it is not elastic. Okay. And this non-linear, non-elastic curve belongs to concrete. So concrete curve is non-linear and non-elastic. So we will see more about the stress strain curve of the concrete. But if we see the stress strain curve of the ingredients of the concrete, then we see that they are very different. For example, if we draw the stress strain curve for the aggregates, you can see they are following a linear path. Similarly, if we draw the stress strain curve of the cement paste, it also follows the linear path. But at the same time, if we draw stress strain curve, if we find the stress strain curve for the concrete, we can see that it is always linear like this. I mean, it is always curved like this. It doesn't follow any linear path except the initial portion, say up to this portion. The concrete curve is linear, but after this, as the stress increases, it becomes curved and like this. So we will see a better stress strain curve for the concrete. So there, in this case, you can see this is the typical stress strain curve of the concrete, and at all time it is curved. It is not linear, and also at the same time it is non-elastic. But if we generalize, the initial part of the curve is linear. So this curve, this initial part of curve is linear, and we can use this linear part to find out the modulus of elasticity. So we will see that. How do we find out modulus of elasticity? We will see that because if we draw an initial tangent line at this along this part which is linear, then this tangent line will be called initial tangent modulus. Similarly, if at any point, if at any point, sorry, if at any point if we draw the tangent line, this will become tangent modulus. So this is the method of drawing tangent modulus. This is the method how we find out the modulus of elasticity. So in this diagram, you can see clearly the first tangent is called initial tangent modulus, and it is along the curve which is linear initially. So say for 10 to 15% of the ultimate stress, 10 to 15% of the ultimate stress up to this, it may be linear. So along this, if we draw a tangent modulus, we can easily calculate the slope of this line. So this slope of line is the Young's modulus of elasticity for initial part. If we try to find out Young's modulus of elasticity at any point of curve, say for example at this point. So at this point, along this point, there is a tangent drawn which is called tangent modulus for this point. So at this point, if we try to find out the slope of this line, this will be the modulus of elasticity of concrete at this point of time between this portion, because all the adjacent points on this curve are matching with the tangent of this point. Okay. Similarly, if we try to find out, uh, I mean, at any point, if we join this point with the initial point and draw this line, then this line will be the modulus of elasticity, but it will be called secant modulus. So like you can see, it is very difficult and it is very complicated to calculate the modulus of elasticity. So that is why IS code has given some formula to calculate the Young's modulus of elasticity. So we will see that in the next slide. Well, we will continue this lecture in the next part. We will see that how do we find out modulus of elasticity. Thank you.